Welcome everybody to the MUTV Group Chat. Hope you're doing okay. The lads are here as ever. Wes and Ben, Maisie and Danny. Morning guys. How are you?
Morning.
All good, mate.
Well, we're going to start with some good news. We've got a very positive email. So if you feel a bit down in the dumps or whatever, this is gonna big you up. This is from South Africa, from Shahid in South Africa, who says, thanks to the panel of the daily group chat. Please don't underestimate the importance of what you're doing for football fans across the world. Every day you give your time, which you could be spending otherwise. Even at times when you maybe don't feel like it, you still entertain us. In South Africa, we're also in lockdown, and the group chat brings some sanity to the day for me. Just wanted you guys to know you are appreciated. True legends, says Shahid in South Africa. What about that for a start?
Very kind of.
Cheers, Shahid.
Appreciate that.
Have to invite us down now for an holiday.
Yeah, well, when you do say, Shahid, that you give your time when you could be spending it otherwise, we couldn't, quite honestly. We couldn't be spending it otherwise, but we do very much appreciate your thoughts. And if you want to get in touch, mutv@manunited.co.uk on the email. Right, for starters today, you couldn't have missed surely the latest edition of the United Podcast, which features Paul Pogba. And one of our panel is heavily involved with it, and that is David May. I know it was recorded a little while ago, Maisie, but I mean, what was it like spending time with him when you left? What were your feelings about speaking to him, chatting to him, and what sort of guy he was?
To be truthful, sir, I've said hello to him a couple of times, but I think we actually did it for maybe about an hour and a half, and it's been trimmed down a little bit. But I thought, you know, what a humble guy he really is, and I think what viewers get and people listening to it would probably understand now the pain he's been going through being injured, and how much he actually wanted to play through the pain barrier. Because
humble and down to earth is not how he was painted, is it? Obviously, no. in the media and so on, but that's how you'd describe him. He
just loves football. You can see that, and you know, when you listen to it, you'll get the full story, really.
All right. Well, we've got a little clip for you because obviously there's a lot of time that he has to deal with criticism from pundits and so on and the media. Here's a little clip from the podcast about how he handles that sort of thing.
I'm not someone that looks always at. Don't look always at Sky News or just when I sit down and he's on. I will look, but in the games, after the games, I don't. When I watch a game, I like to watch the game, and not the comment. I just watch the game because when you're a fan and when you know football, you don't need someone to tell you what's happening.
Sure.
And obviously, what I hear with like few people like putting my name, oh, Paul is doing this, hey, Paul. Just guess, I don't know. One day I will meet them and I will ask them. I really want to know why. I mean, doing my recovery, I can be somewhere else and hear something, but I'm just doing my recovery and hear my name again, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Do you never think of like putting a message out there and saying I'm this, I'm doing this, or do you just?
You don't want to feed it, do you?
I mean, if they want to speak, they're allowed to speak.
Yeah,
that's their job. For me, it's their job to speak.
Does it not wind you up?
No, because they've been talking.
I know.
I'm used to it now. I'm really used to it. So it doesn't bother me.
Does it not piss you off?
It doesn't. No, it doesn't bother me.
So that's just a little part of the extensive podcast. Remember, make sure you download the United Podcast from Deezer and all the other podcast apps. Just chatting to the other guys. I mean, you don't often hear from Paul, do you, at length? And when you actually hear someone at length, it changes your view perhaps of them and the fact that they get painted in a certain way in the media. When you hear from them at length, an hour-long interview or whatever, suddenly that's the real person, isn't it?
I think you shouldn't have to go out in the media every 10 minutes and justify your character. You know, he knows what he's doing behind the scenes. You know, whenever I've come across him, He's always had a real humility about him, and that was before he left United, and then obviously since he's come back, I've never seen anything that would tell me anything otherwise. So, you know, I'd echo what Maisie said, but you shouldn't have to come out and justify just because you've got a character, you know, and part of that, you know, it goes out on social media and that rubs people up the wrong way. But for me, you know, I said it last night on Andy Goldstein's show that I just want to see him back playing, especially with the players we've got who come into the club. You know, the thought of him and Bruno in the middle of the park making things tick, you know, it's exciting. You know, add a few more players to that, Marcus coming back and so on. I think we've got, you know, a real force going forward. So, but from his point of view, I just think, you know, I've been injured enough times. I've had 14 operations. I know it's sometimes a lonely place. As Maisie said, when you're swimming in the afternoons and everyone's gone home and you're watching them drive away and you've got to do your lengths and that, it can be a lonely place. So nobody wants to be injured, that's for sure. And I'm sure he'll be back and be firing as soon as.
And where's he spoke about in the podcast about leaving in 2012 because he couldn't see an immediate sort of first team future and then coming back again. But when you were, and that's towards the end of obviously your United career, but he was a certainty when you saw him in the youth team. He looked brilliant. I don't know if you remember him at that point as a young player at Carrington.
Yeah, I mean, we remember having chats with him and everything leading up to it. And because he was such a good player, you know, he was big, strong already, quick, and he definitely had a future. But for certain circumstances, he decided he wanted to go. I think he got guaranteed playing first team at Juventus, which is a tough one to turn down as well. But ultimately, he has come back, and you know, there's been a lot of pressure on him. And like what Maisie started off with, and Webbs, he is a humble guy. He's a normal guy. He just wants to show everyone what he can do, and he's had a lot of stick, you know, while he's been back. But at the same time, I'm really looking forward to it now. He's got a new challenge with Fernando Brunes coming in, and we are looking forward to see what that sort of partnership brings. But you know, he wants to play the best he can.
What's he called, Wes?
Fernando Brunes was that?
I don't know what I said there. Yeah, I've told you. I've got up about 20 minutes ago. Bruno Fernandes.
That's his new name.
I know, yeah. I wondered what you were giggling at, Maisie. I'm thinking, why is Maisie giggling?
It was Danny who sent me off.
I'm looking forward to that little combination to see what he brings.
Yeah.
Wes was talking about the fact he's only just got up. What about the pajamas? Come on, you might as well reveal them to us.
Let me just show you. I've got my Star Wars on today. Look, not bad. You see her?
Yeah, yeah.
Got my Star Wars on today. That's all I get for my birthdays or Christmas, Stu. I get Star Wars.
No. Class.
Pajamas.
Class. Ben, I mean, we chat about Pogba a lot, don't we, when we're doing commentaries and how we've missed him this season so much. I mean, he hasn't started a league game since September, and here we are in, where are we? April. So, but yet we've still got 9 games to go. So, funnily, he could still be an important player this season. But is he a misunderstood player?
Well, I mean, I think I'm in a little bit of a minority because unlike the other 3 lads, I've never been in his company, so I can only judge on what he's like as obviously as a footballer. And for these 9 games, and obviously for the remainder of the time that hopefully he's going to be at Manchester United, it would be like having a new player because this season we've rarely seen him. And when you're talking about, you know, bringing players in, I think the fact that we haven't really seen Paul Pogba delivering his true potential for one reason or another, it'll be great, like the other lad said, to see him sort of forging a partnership with Bruno Fernandes. He is a terrific player. We saw a glimpse when we were both at Watford, Stuart, and he came on, and even though we didn't win the game, he looked like the player that we had desperately been missing. Obviously, we didn't have Bruno Fernandes at that point, but watching both of them play in the same team will be something that Manchester United fans should be really relishing.
Certainly, the podcast seems to have gone down very well with United fans on Twitter. Here's just a couple of comments. Tom, the United podcast with Pogba was quality, such a likeable player when you don't follow media narratives. This one from the Man United way. I think Pogba is one of the most misunderstood footballers ever. His podcast really shows the type of person he is and gives detail about the true extent of his injury. Testament to the person he is that he ignored all the lies told about him when he was injured. Chris saying the Pogba podcast is brilliant. It's clear that he just wants what's best for the club, wants us back at the top. And this one from Red Devil fan. Listen to Pogba on that United podcast. What a genuine, humble and respectful guy he is. Humble being the word that Maisie used there. But make sure you check it out, the United podcast. Right, let's bring in our guest today. He's been waiting patiently. Coronation Street actor, massive United fan, Andy Whyment, who joins us. How you doing, pal? Are you okay?
Not too bad, how are you?
Yeah, we're good. How are you coping? We always ask the question to everybody, how are you coping with the lockdown? What are you able to do?
To be honest with you, we spend a lot of time in the back garden because the weather's been nice. I think if people have been following my Instagram stories, they've seen that I've been drinking quite a lot of beer. But apparently I've just been getting on with things. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm quite lucky. Anyway, I do get to spend a lot of time at home with my job. So it's not really that much difference. The only difference is that I can't go out. I mean, I'm missing the football like mad. I think everyone is now. I think it's getting to that stage where everyone's desperate to get the football back, but obviously only when it's safe to do so.
Well, it's just filming, obviously, lockdown. No, it's all, you don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to restart, or just...
No, I mean, we worked up until the Friday when Boris closed all the pubs and clubs and stuff, and we had a schedule through to the following Thursday. And then on the Sunday, we just got an email saying that they're standing everybody down, which was fair enough. I mean, we was all saying that we'll carry on as long as we can, but I think work just kind of felt that if all the pubs and clubs are shutting and everything, it's probably the right thing for us to do, just to shut down. And I think we've got to the beginning of July in the can, so we need to get back, hopefully, middle of June with a bit of luck. Otherwise, it's going to go off air.
My God, can't imagine that, can you?
I mean, we've cut down from 6 episodes a week to 3 episodes a week now. Obviously, just to sustain it out a little bit more, but hopefully we'll get back. I mean, a lot of the airlines have announced that they're going to start flying mid-June. So I'm assuming if that's going to happen, then hopefully we should be able to get back to work then with a bit of luck. So fingers crossed.
I just saw on your Twitter profile, I can't believe you joined the street in 2000.
Yeah,
20 years.
Yeah, it's 20 years. I did the Royal Family 99, 2000, and then I actually went into Corrie the year before and played a different character. But then I've been playing Kurt now, 20th year now. And obviously it's the 60th anniversary for Corrie this year as well. So on 9th of December, it'll be 60 years old. So it's great to be a part of. I mean, I still get a buzz now when I drive up to the gates and they lift the barriers for me because I'm a massive fan of the show. Yeah, I grew up watching it as a kid. So to be there 20 years and hopefully many more years to come will be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we see you at the ground, we see you at Old Trafford all the time, but are you missing it?
Oh, massively. Massively. I mean, I think, listen, we all love our football. I think, obviously, they had to postpone the season for the time being, and hopefully, I mean, I've been saying to everyone that the season has to finish, not just for the teams at the top, but the teams down the bottom, and for the teams that could get promoted as well. For me, because I mean, getting promoted to the Premier League, it's like £300 million. So the likes of Leeds and West Brom and teams like that, if the season didn't get finished, then it's for me, it's not fair on them. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully we'll get finished and then get that top 4 spot or 5th, depending on what happens with City. And I mean, we still don't know what's going to happen with the Europa League either yet. I mean, what's going to happen there? Does anybody know?
Oh, and the FA Cup as well. But remember, Maisie throughout this has always said, shut the season down completely, start again, forget it. Not just to upset Liverpool, but just, that's it. It's not worth it. But are you very much, we've got to finish this campaign at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I get why people are saying that, but listen, the Euros have been cancelled now. So if we go into end of June, then the players can have a few weeks off. I mean, they're just not going to get as long a pre-season. I mean, I think the season's still going to have to start mid-August or maybe a little bit later. But, I mean, you've got to take into consideration as well, in a couple of years' time, we've got the World Cup in Qatar. So, obviously, the season's going to get messed up for that as well. So, for me, it's got to finish. There's only 9 games to go. I mean, and if they can finish the Europa League and the Champions League, maybe they just do it over one leg rather than 2. Do you know what I mean? Just to get it done, because tournaments like that are huge. Do you know what I mean? If we don't get top 4, but we could win the Europa League and get in the Champions League, then for me, it's got to happen. Do you know what I mean? So I don't agree with just cancelling the season myself. I think it should play out. Sorry, Maisie.
All right, I'll ring you up after. I'll put all my arguments against it.
And what about Fernando Brunes, our new signing?
Hey, is that his brother? Are we getting his brother, Stu?
Yeah.
To
No, he's class, though, isn't he? He is class.
Is that to me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's coming in. I mean, there's not many players for me that come straight to the Premier League and look like they've been there for years. The only player that I've ever seen do it at Old Trafford, that's come, was Henrik Larsson. I think Henrik Larsson, when he came, he looked like he'd been playing in the Premier League for years. I mean, it took Vidic a good probably 12 months to settle into the Premier League. Evra, once he did, there was great players, but I think Fernandes has just come in and just gone. What I like about him is you see him talking a lot, and he always wants the ball, and he always looks forward, where you get a lot of players that, for me, sometimes go hiding in games, where Bruno is always wants the ball. And like I say, he's come in and he's been fantastic signing for us, and I think it's only going to get better as well. So
another thing, Andy, your little spell in I'm a Celebrity. Did that help? Does that help you adjust to lockdown? There's a bit of lockdown involved there, isn't there?
Yeah, as a bit, to be fair. Apart from that, obviously, I can eat what I want rather than just getting rice and beans. No, we was quite lucky, to be fair. We won quite a lot of stars by some years. We've gone like 3-4 days with just rice and beans, so we was pretty lucky, to be fair. I can't grumble, but I mean, at least you get out of the camp now. I can't get out of my house here now. I'm going up to Morrison's at the top of the estate. That's about it.
How was it then, mate? What was the experience like? What are the secrets? What can you tell us?
It was just, I mean, I'm a massive fan of I'm a Celebrity. I think you could see that the first episode that I went in. It was like watching it on TV. Do you know what I mean? It was. I've always said I wanted to do it. And I had a meeting for it last April, and they said, "We want you to do it." I was like, "Well," it's kind of weird, like, because you have the meeting in April, and think, "Oh, it's miles away yet." Then when it comes, you're thinking, "Oh, it's just around the corner now." So it was a great experience. I mean, just chatting to Ian Wright a lot as well, because Wright, they never showed any of it, to be honest with you. But we had loads of chats about football, and he was telling me about his career, and because I was a massive fan of Dennis Bergkamp, and obviously he played with Bergkamp, and so yeah, it was just nice little chats. I mean, people like Caitlin Jenner, I mean, she's a completely different league to me. She's got her own planes, she's got flipping Ferraris, whatever she's got. I've got a Kia Ceed, do you know what I mean? So it's a kind of completely different level to what I'm at.
Which of our panel would cope best in the jungle, do you think, there, Andy?
Oh God, I'd like to see Maisie in there. I think it'd be a bit posse though, Maisie.
Posse?
I think you'd just be telling them what to do, Maisie. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure I could struggle on. I'd be all right on beans and rice all day.
So you could do me going on beans and rice. You put some right timber on.
No, that's just the angle, that pal.
I wanted to get your views as well, guys. 21 years today, the anniversary of one of the best games I think any of us has probably ever seen. The last FA Cup semi-final replay at Villa Park, United Arsenal, the Giggs goal, an unbelievable game of football 21 years ago. You would have all seen it. Have you ever seen a better game than that?
Firstly, I miss semi-finals being played at Villa Park. You know, it's dying off them being at Wembley, but yeah, that game was unbelievable. I think, from the penalty and just the tenseness of the whole game, and Vieira giving a pass away, Giggsy running away, celebrating the way he did as well, was different class and won't ever be replicated.
Yeah, had everything. Players sent off, as Dan said there. Vieira giving it away. Giggs' goal. I watched what Giggs was talking about on Sky Sports this morning. How he just thought he was having a bit of a nightmare at the time, and he thought, well, this time I'm just going to run with it, and he just ran with it, and then didn't even see Scholesy, which is like, incredible. But the celebration, taking his shirt off, seeing all that fur on his chest, it's just horrible. But
Well, obviously, Wes, you were obviously in and around the squad at that time. And with that, once you've done something like that, do you suddenly then think, "And hang on, the treble really is on here"?
I think after that game, you do. I mean, I've seen the game a few times, and the ups and downs in it is frightening. And just remember being there, and your heart don't know what's going on. I'm telling you. But then, obviously, when Giggsy scores that, you go mental. And once you get in the changing room, you realise that it is now on. But I think as a group, and Maisie would tell you as well, I don't think we thought about it too much, Maisie, did we? We just sort of got on with it. And we just thought about the next game. But that one was just, I mean, most of the quarterfinals in the Champions League, the semi-finals Champions League, all massive games, big teams. And there was always a little bit something special like that involved in it.
Just before we go, the match rewind vote, which is about hat-trick heroes we spoke about yesterday, and everybody on the panel voted for Berbatov's hat-trick against Liverpool, which included that brilliant overhead kick, and that has basically eased over the line, and you'll see that in full at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. But just to say, guys, I mean, Berbatov, you know him, Ben. I mean, he's just had that in his locker, didn't he? Just had a special player, and he had a bit of genius about him.
He is a special player, yeah. He just had that belief and that self-confidence that he could do anything on a football field. And as much as sometimes he might look as though he's ambling around, trust me, I've played with him now, and he doesn't. And he has got a tremendous amount of skill and obviously a lot of belief in himself. And some of the goals that he scored and some of the bits of individual skill that you've seen him produce over the years have been outstanding.
You played with him, Wes. I mean, he was extraordinary, wasn't he?
He's a different character, I can tell you that, but he's a good lad. The ability he has, you know, what Ben said, he believes in himself, and he's always looking for that perfect goal, Stu. And he wants his teammates to do that as well. But when he came to United, you know, he broke into the team, and some of the goals he did score were phenomenal. Yeah,
Dan, you're a striker. Obviously, scoring a hat-trick against Liverpool like that is what dreams are made of, isn't it?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think of his touch as well. You know, his first touch, for anyone who, you know, to be able to work at the top level like that, your first touch has got to be on point, and his is different class. And then he scores goals, like all types of different goals. Some of the goals he scored for Tottenham were unbelievable. I was buzzing when we signed him. And then he just came into the team playing with Ronaldo and Tevez and everybody. It was just frightening to watch him sort of orchestrate from the front. He's different class, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, you see me in that charity game, Danny. His first touch ain't as good as mine.
I didn't want to put you up there. I know you're too humble, but you know, I mean, it's up there, Andy. Stop.
Yeah. Well, listen, Andy, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. That was great fun. Ronnie Johnson, treble winner, he's joining us on the group chat on Wednesday, so join us for that. And guys, thanks very much. See you tomorrow. Take care.